Saw 2 is a 2005 American horror film, a sequel to 2004's Saw and the second installment in the seven-part Saw franchise. Directed and co-written by Darren Lynn Bousman. Co-written with series creator Leigh Whannell. It stars Donnie Wahlberg, Frankie G, Glenn Plummer, Beverly Mitchell, Dina Meyer, Emmanuel Vaugier, Eric Knudsen, Shawnee Smith, and Tobin Bell. The film features Jigsaw being apprehended by the police, but trapping the arresting officer in one of his own games while showing another game of 8 people, including the officer's son, in progress on TV monitors at another location. It also explores some of John Kramer's backstory, providing a partial explanation of his reason for becoming Jigsaw. After the financial success of Saw, a sequel was immediately greenlit. Leigh Whannell and James Wan were busy preparing for their next film and were unable to write or direct. Bousman wrote a script called The Desperate before Saw was released and was looking for a producer, but many studios rejected it. Hoffman received the script and showed it to his partners Mark Berg and Orrin Coles. It was decided that, with some changes, it could be made into Saw 2. Whannell became available to provide rewrites of the script. The film was given a larger budget and was shot from May to June 2005 in Toronto. Saw 2 was released on October 28, 2005 and, despite mixed reviews from critics, was a financial success, with opening takings of $31.9 million and grossing $88 million in the United States and Canada. It has remained the highest-grossing Saw film in those countries. Bell was nominated for Best Villain at the 2006 MTV Movie Awards for his role as Jigsaw in the film. Saw 2 was released to DVD on February 14, 2006 and topped charts its first week, selling more than 3 million units. At the time, it was the fastest-selling theatrical DVD in Lionsgate's history. It was followed by Saw 3, which released October 2006. Plot: Informant Michael Marks awakens in a room with a spike-filled mask locked to his neck. A videotape informs him that in order to unlock the device, he must cut into his eye to obtain the key, which has been surgically implanted and sealed behind it. He sets off the timer and finds the scalpel, but cannot bring himself to retrieve the key and is killed after 60 seconds when the mask closes. At the scene of Mark's game, Detective Allison Carey finds a message for her former partner, Eric Matthews, and calls him in, despite not wanting to be involved with the case. Already dealing with a divorce and estrangement from his son Daniel, Eric reluctantly joins Carey and Sergeant Rigg in leading a SWAT team to the factory which produced the lock for Mark's trap. There they find and apprehend John Kramer, the Jigsaw killer, who is weak from cancer. He indicates several computer monitors showing 8 people trapped in a house. Among them are Amanda Young, the only known survivor, and Daniel, a nerve agent filling the house will kill them within 2 hours. But Kramer assures Eric that following his own game, simply sitting and chatting with Kramer, will see Daniel return to him unharmed. At Carey's urging, Eric agrees in order to buy time for the tech team to arrive and trace the video signal. The victims are informed by micro-cassette recorder that antidotes are hidden throughout the house. One is in the room safe, and a cryptic clue is provided. Xavier ignores a warning note and uses a key on the door, which fires a bullet through the peephole and Guy's eye, killing him. They search the house for more antidotes after the room lets them out, with no success. Obi, who is revealed by tape to have helped with the abductions, is forced into a furnace to obtain 2 antidotes inside, but it inadvertently activates the trap and is burned to death before the others can save him, destroying the antidotes. In the next room, Xavier throws Amanda into a syringe-filled pit intended for himself, and though she is able to retrieve the key, he is unable to unlock the steel door behind which the antidote sits before the timer expires, and he leaves out of frustration. Throughout the game, they discuss connections between them and determine that each has been jailed before. The sole exception is Daniel, who has nonetheless been arrested before. Meanwhile, Kramer passes the time with both idle and cryptic chat, eventually telling Eric that his survival of a suicide attempt after his diagnosis is the true reason for his games. With the little time left to him, he wants to inspire in others the new appreciation for life he had found. Eric, not interested in any of this, runs out of patience and returns to the monitors. He destroys several of Kramer's documents and sketches at Carrie's suggestion, but fails to provoke Kramer. As the tech team arrives, Kramer reveals the connection between the victims. Eric has framed all of them for various crimes, and Daniel will be in danger if his identity is discovered. Having left the others, Xavier returns to the safe room and finds a colored number on the back of Guz's neck. After realizing the answer to the clue, he kills Jonas with a spiked bat for his number after a brief fight and begins hunting the others. Laura succumbs to the nerve agent after finding the clue revealing Daniel's identity. Addison and Amanda abandon him, but Amanda returns after finding Jonas' body. Addison finds a glass box housing an antidote, but her arms become trapped in the armholes which are lined with hidden blades, and Xavier leaves her to die after reading her number. Amanda and Daniel find a tunnel in the safe room which leads to a dilapidated bathroom with two rotting corpses. Daniel collapses inside just before Xavier finds them. Amanda notes that he can't read his own number, and he cuts the skin from his neck. As he approaches, Daniel, who feigned his collapse, jumps up and slashes his neck with a hacksaw, killing him. Having seen Xavier chasing his son, Eric brutally assaults Kramer and forces him to lead Eric to the house. Kramer's sitting area is revealed to be a lift, which they use to leave the factory. The tech team tracks the video's source and Rig leads his team to a house, where they find VCRs playing previously recorded images. As Carrie realizes the game took place before they found Kramer, the timer expires and a large safe opens, revealing Daniel bound and breathing into an oxygen mask. Eric enters the house alone and eventually locates the bathroom, where he is attacked by a pig-masked figure. He awakens shackled at the ankle to a pipe. A tape recorder left by Amanda reveals that she intends to continue Kramer's work after he dies. Amanda appears in the doorway and seals the door, leaving Eric to die. Outside, Kramer hears Eric's screams and slowly smiles. Cast. For more details on the cast and characters, see List of Saw cast members and List of Saw characters. Production, development and writing. The original teaser poster showing two bloody severed fingers that was banned by the Motion Picture Association of America. Saw was immediately greenlit after Saw's successful opening weekend a year earlier. Wano polished the script, with input from Wan. Only those key cast and crew members who were involved in the film's ending were given the full script. The rest received only the first 88 pages. If a particular page was rewritten, the old page was shredded. Members were also required to sign confidentiality agreements requiring them not to release any plot details. Filming and post-production. Saw was given a larger production budget of $4 million. Trap designs. David Hackle, the film's production designer, took 3 weeks to construct 27 sets on a single sound stage. Beastman came up with an idea whereby a character's hands would get stuck in some sort of vessel, and this resulted in the hand trap. It proved to be a challenge, but after much discussion, Hackle, property master Jim Murray and art director Michelle Brady came up with a suitable design. They arranged a glass box suspended by chains from the ceiling which contained a hypodermic needle with the antidote and which had 2 hand holes on the underside. As soon as Vogier's character Addison put her hands into the holes, razor blades would close in on her hands, and any attempt to withdraw from the trap would cause her to bleed to death. In order for the trap to be used safely, the prop builders made the handcuffs move inside the box and fake blades that would retract from the actress's hands, thus allowing her to slide her hands out. Hackle subsequently commented that the character did not have to put her hands into the trap, as there was a lock with a key on the other side box that would have opened the contraption. The original idea for the furnace trap came from the house having been a crematorium at some point, but this would have involved turning the house into a funeral parlor. So it was instead decided that the furnace would be part of the house's boiler system. The furnace was visualized in the form of a computer model so that this man could better understand how shots could be filmed. Using the computer model as a guide, the furnace was constructed in 3 days using cement, board and tin with removable sides and top. So Timothy Bird, Obi, could be filmed crawling inside. The furnace produced real flames and, in place of Bird, a stuntman using a fire retardant gel crawled into the fire. Release. Saw? Was released in New Zealand, the United States, and the United Kingdom on October 28, 2005, and November 17, 2005 in Australia. The original teaser poster showing 2 bloody, severed fingers was rejected by the Motion Picture Association of America. Soundtrack. The Saw soundtrack was released on October 25, 2005 by Image Entertainment. Home media. Saw? Was released on DVD, VHS, and Universal Media Disc on February 14, 2006 through Lionsgate Home Entertainment. The DVD debuted as #1 selling 2.5 million units in its first day. It went on to sell 3.9 million units its first week, becoming the fastest-selling theatrical DVD in Lionsgate's history. On October 24, 2006, an unrated special edition was released, while an unrated Blu-ray edition was also released with various special features on January 23, 2007. Reception. Box office. Saw? Opened with $31.7 million on 879 screens across 949 theaters. The film was closed out of theaters on January 5, 2006 after 70 days of release. Saw? Opened in the United Kingdom with $3.8 million on 305 screens, 70% larger than the first installment. It opened in Japan on 67 screens with $750,000. Critical response. The film received generally mixed reviews from critics, who praised the acting, particularly the performances of Bell and Wahlberg, while criticizing the gruesome nature of the story. Review aggregator Rotten Tomatoes reports that 36% of 117 critics have given the film a positive review, with a rating average of 4.6 out of 10. The site's consensus was, Saw? Is likely to please the gore-happy fans of the original, though it may be too gruesome for those not familiar with first film's premise. Robert Kohler of Variety gave the film a negative review, saying, "Cooking up new Rube Goldberg torture contraptions isn't enough to get Saw? Out of the shadow of its unnerving predecessor." Kevin Crust of the Los Angeles Times gave the film a positive review, calling Saw? A worthy follow-up to its grisly predecessor. He said the story was much more focused on an endgame than the original film. There are fewer credibility gaps and there are plenty of reversals to satisfy fans. He criticized the use of numerous flashbacks, saying that it robbed accolades. Tobin Bell was nominated for Best Villain at the 2006 MTV Movie Awards for his role as Jigsaw.